Welcome back to another episode of Todo Tranquilo. Today I'm sitting with Ashley White, and the reason why we're laughing a little bit is because we just ran a whole good 30 minutes and the camera wasn't recording. Listen, but it's all good. We got the singer, songwriter, poet Ashley White in the building, and let's do
it again. Yes. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Times two that you don't know about.
Times two.
Hi.
So, Ashley, you've already been here, technically.
Yeah. I already know a little bit about it.
Oh, man. So, I guess we're going to run everything back for everyone at home watching or listening.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hopefully it doesn't seem weird to you.
No, it's great. I love it.
I had to get out of my head a little bit because I don't know if you could tell, but I was so upset at myself.
Yeah, it's okay.
I hate when things happen like that.
Yeah. You know? But guess what? We're still here. We're still gonna do it again. And
we're still here. We're vibing.
Yeah, we're still good. Everything's all good.
But go ahead and introduce yourself to the people at home.
Got you. Hey guys, I am Ashley White. I'm a creator from Woodbridge, Virginia. I'm a believer. I'm a artist. I'm a human being with a passion for just art and people and just life. And I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to do this 2 times over, and I would do it 3 times again. It's okay. Everything's great.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
I love that attitude. I'll be honest. I was just like so in my head right now.
No, it's okay.
But it's all good. Fine. Listen, like you said, it was a trial run. Mm-hmm. We had a great time, and we're going to have an even better time.
Yeah. The energy's up now. We got to get our energy up.
The energy is 100% up now, I think. So while I was doing a deep dive into who Ashley White was on my end, and obviously you'll fill in the blanks kind of where I don't know is, but I saw that before you did music, you were super into basketball, and I saw an article that you were really good at basketball.
Pretty good.
That you got a scholarship.
Yeah. Yep. So I played D1 basketball. I played a couple years, and then I decided to do something new, but I got offers, and now I am a coach. Now I'm a trainer. Now I also coach AAU. So I've been running around doing that more than I do most anything else. And it's something that I'm still passionate about, but just in a different way.
Yeah. I totally understand. Sometimes you have to set other things aside to make for another passion, another interest in your life.
Yeah, make some room.
Grow it as well. Because you can never have too many interests.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's what people need to know. That's the truth right there.
And it's never too late to start anything.
Never too late.
So how did your parents feel about you transitioning from, pretty much declining a whole scholarship to pursue music? Because I know that any parent, whether they're super into their children's sports or not, like, denying like a scholarship is probably a huge deal to pursue maybe something that they can't see the longevity of.
Yeah. Yeah. So fortunately for me, I was able to, I played a couple years. So I was able to experience it. My parents were able to experience it and see me play and, kind of see the dream for what it was. But I did decide to move on. And when I did, my parents were super supportive. My father was just very, very, what's the word for it? He was just very he just questioned everything. He wanted to make sure that I was making the right decisions, that I wasn't doing it for the wrong reasons, that I had, something to fall back on. Parents just want you to be safe and not put yourself in a hole. And to be truthful, when I did end up leaving basketball, I did go into a hole. There was a lot of things that were very hard and very new that I never experienced because, when you get a full scholarship, everything is kind of taken care of for you. They pay for your room, they pay for your food, they pay for your trip, they pay for your clothes,
Tuition,
everything. Yeah, everything's taken care of. And so I was in that world, and I chose to go into a world where I had to learn how to do things myself. And my father was worried about that. And so what he did was he told me about it early. He made sure that I knew that that was what was going to happen, that I would have to endure things that I hadn't before. And he just wanted to challenge me every chance he got to make sure that I was able to endure it. And once he got with that, he was good. He was like, yeah, this is what I know. I can see that you're strong enough. I can see that you have the will to just be impactful and do other things other than basketball. And he just believed me when I talked. And that just was the most valuable thing he could have ever done. And my mother is the same way. She just, as long as you're happy, as long as you're getting your education, doing what you want to do, learning what you want to learn, I'm good with it. Yeah.
I could resonate with your dad.
Yeah.
You know, I know for a fact if I probably had a kid and he was really good at a sport, all I would think about is like, make it pro.
Make it as far as you can.
Make it as far as you can.
Yeah.
Go pro. And, you know, if he came to me and suddenly it's like, I don't want to do it anymore, and he denied his full scholarship.
Yeah, and I know that it surprised a lot of people because, like I was telling you earlier, I was known for that. There's like at Osborne Park, I'm up there on the wall and all that stuff. And so for people to know me as that and then for me to just shut it off, I'm sure it was an experience for many people that knew me in that way. So I know my father had a really like just shocking, well, what is like, where did that come from? Because it very much wasn't like evident. I didn't show that I didn't want to be there. It didn't seem like I was unhappy, but I was unhappy. And so to see me transition in the way that I transitioned was probably, I'm sure, a lot. But
It's just, it seemed like kind of you woke up one day, it's like, hey, I'm quitting.
yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was definitely a pull. It was definitely a pull, but I think that things in my life, looking at it hindsight, things in my life kind of were pushing me towards the decision. I think it was a longer decision than I knew it was. Like it was happening.
To you, it was happening gradually.
It was happening like that. And I didn't know it, but things were putting me in a place where I had to sit down and like figure out, well, what's your value if you don't play basketball? Because I didn't have an answer for that at a certain time. And so when I got hurt and things like that, when I got hurt, I had to sit with myself and just look like, you know, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything impactful about you? Are you a good person? You know what I mean? I had to deal with those thoughts. And when I decided, yeah, you are a good person. Yeah, you do have something to say. Yeah, all of those things. Okay, let's try to talk about it. People need to hear what you have to say. You don't have to stick in the spotlight that comes with basketball because, one, people don't know this about me, I'm sure. I hate the spotlight, and I had it all my life. I hate it.
Yeah. I can imagine you had it with basketball.
I had it all my life for basketball because I was just naturally really gifted at it. And my issue was that I didn't work very hard for it. And so the people that were there wanted it more than me, and I knew it right away. And when I knew that, that's when I was like, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay with going because people that don't want it shouldn't be there at a certain level. When you play D1, it's one of the higher levels of basketball. And so you have to really want to be there. You have to really be dedicated to waking up at 6 a.m. and running. And you know what I mean? You have to be dedicated. And I had a resentment towards it at a certain point. And I was like, yeah.
You probably, I mean, to what you said, you had to disassociate yourself from basketball. And it probably was something that you've always dealt with where it's like, is basketball all I am?
Exactly.
It's like, do I not have my own identity? Mm-hmm. Do I not have anything else that people will know me about? It's like, I don't want to just be known for basketball. And like you said, unless you really have the passion for it, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. And I had the passion, but I didn't have the type of passion that they had. Like, there's so many amazing basketball players I came across and was just able to play with and learn from. But they had it. Like, they had it. They wanted to be there. They wanted to wake up and work out and run for fun. They wanted to run outside for fun.
Oh, I can never.
I don't want to do that. So yeah, like, one of the things, I tell the story all the time, but we had to run the mile in 6 minutes in college to play. If we didn't run in 6 minutes, we didn't get it. My teammates, I was the only teammate that did. I'm telling you, I didn't want it as bad as they did. But they would go and practice running the mile. I didn't do that. And the day that we had to run it, I didn't get it because I didn't try. I didn't prepare. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't prepare because I was like, oh, I'm naturally just fast. I can do this. No worries. And things like that helped me to notice there's a separation when you really want something, when you really are supposed to be doing something. The work of it doesn't feel like this. It doesn't feel like I don't want to do that work. If I really want it, I would get up and I would do that work, even if it's really hard. I would love to do it because I know the outcome of it. And I didn't experience that until I started coaching. When I started coaching, I was like, oh, if I had this mentality, I would have, played. I would have played all the years.
Because you probably now like see all these other players where
I'm like,
they're that's their driving force.
Exactly. I'm like, oh yeah, you have it. You want to be here. There's people that pay me to help them elevate in that game and really work towards it. I didn't do all that. I just was really good. I just was really good naturally, and I didn't work for anything. And I wanted to work for something that I hadn't done. And so that's why I made the decision that I made when I decided to leave basketball. I was like, this is brand new. Music, brand new. I've never done music before, but I like it, and I would spend 24 hours in this room doing it. Yeah. And I'll work and I'll study and I'll do all that. And nobody has to know. I can do this without anybody knowing. And I would still love it. You know what I mean? So yeah, once I realized the difference between wanting to work and not wanting to work, it really put it into perspective to me what I want to do with my life and stuff like that.
Well, I gotta say, I'm glad you found that passion.
Yeah.
Because then we wouldn't have the good music that you make.
I'm so glad that you like it. My friends get so mad at me when I say this, but I always get so surprised when people enjoy.
I think I can understand where you come from though, where it's just like I'm making it, like I like it, yeah. But it's like obviously I'm gonna like it because I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. But it's like when other people like it, it's you like, oh my God, what?
Yeah. I'm like, wow, that's so great. I'm so happy.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm glad you made that transition because without it, we wouldn't have the great music that you have now. Mm-hmm. And before we get super deep into the music, I do want to touch on the poetry a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what you said earlier about, doing that poem kind of poem style speech that you did kind of at the mayor's inauguration a couple of years back. I didn't know it was a couple of years back, actually.
Yeah, it was actually I think 4 years ago. So I got to do a poem for the mayor's inauguration of Dumfries. And he didn't contact me, but someone else did contact me and said that they wanted me to just talk. I don't even know I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I was at a certain point really active in churches doing poetry, so maybe that helped. But
probably.
Yeah, so he hit me up. They hit me up and they were like, "Yeah, we want you to speak at the inauguration. We want something to get people going or whatever." They hit me up like 3 days before it, and they were like, "Yeah, can you write a poem?" We had a meeting. "Can you write a poem about this and about that?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, sure, I got you." And I'm a really spiritual person, so I really prayed about it and did all the things I needed to do. But it came out exactly how I wanted it, and that was enough. And people seemed to be, I got a standing ovation and stuff. People seemed to be really excited about it. So it was super fun.
I mean, I saw the video.
Yeah.
I can't remember the poem.
It's called Excellent.
But it was an excellent poem. I'll tell you that much. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the standing ovation was well deserved.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
especially when you have to do it in front of that many people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just me. Like, outside from doing this, it's like I can't imagine
Yeah.
being in front of people doing something like that, whether it's singing,
Mm-hmm.
reciting a poem.
Yeah.
Just, it's crazy. And the fact that you only had 3 days to prepare
3 days.
is
Yeah.
insane.
And music has helped me with my presentation, or at that point too. Music helped me with my presentation for poetry because music is just more of a feeling. Like, you get to just be out there and everybody dances with you. Poetry is like, they're staring at you. They're looking at you. People don't feel like they can clap. They don't feel like they can move. They don't feel like they can do anything. And so the fact that I had a couple of just times where I was doing music at that time, it just helped me to realize that even if people are just sitting like this, they're probably still enjoying what you're doing. Because there's been times when I performed music, I've been jumping around, doing whatever I do, and people are just like, just sitting there. And those are the people that come up to me most of the time, like, "Wow, yo, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen." I'm like, "Bro, I seen you. You didn't even move. You were just chilling."
What's crazy though? It's probably because they're so into, whether it's a poem or a song, they're so into it that they're not just hearing it, like they're legit listening.
You're experiencing
to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Exactly.
they get stuck in a trance.
Exactly. And I value people that come up to me and tell me what they like about my stuff. Because a lot of people come up to me and they're like, "Man, you're so good." I'm like, "Thanks." But I love when people are like, someone came up to me at the Leche magazine, like when they like showed it to everybody. When they showed it to everybody, and she was like, 3 a.m. really got me through a tough experience in my life. And I said, this is the best conversation I've ever had. Like, just because I want to know what the real feeling is. Otherwise, it just feels like a like on Instagram.
Okay.
And likes on Instagram are cool, but they are not they don't give you much knowledge about what people think. They just, "I like that." Okay. You can like things, but like, what about it? What is it that you are getting from this that I can continue to do? And we can build, like, how can we build from there? And so the more people tell me, the more I really get to understand what my craft is doing for people. So I really do value people like that. But like I said, most of those people are like this when I'm performing. Yeah. Like, they're like that. So so I've learned to just resist the idea of stage fright at all. Everybody is hearing me because I'm in the room with a microphone. They hear me. So we're cool. Yeah.
And if they genuinely didn't like it, they'd walk out.
If they don't like it, and if they don't like it,
Who
that's
cares?
okay. Like, that's so okay. There's things that I don't like. That's okay. That's okay.
That's awesome. So you mentioned Leche, and that's 100% how I found you. I found you because I found Leche first, but I didn't do a deep dive on the magazine. I think the reason why I found him is he posted like this throwback to when he first launched it, and I guess he had a launch party for it, and I saw it. It just looked super cool, like the aesthetic of it. And after I did the podcast with him, I went back to do another deep dive, and I always saw you on the cover, but it's like, it didn't even dawn on me when I first saw it, like, who is she? It wasn't until after where I did the deep dive where it's like, okay, who is she? I gotta know who she is.
Yeah.
What does she do? How could she be so amazing that she's on the cover of this magazine?
Yeah, right. Why would they choose her? Yeah. That's real.
So, I mean, I saw it. I went to your page, saw the music, fell in love with it immediately. And even after falling in love with the music and going through the Chameleon EP, I didn't think of having you on because I think I was fangirling at first. It was just like, this is amazing. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Like what I mentioned earlier, it's like I will have those days where I listen to a specific artist, and like when I found you, like you became one of those artists where it's like, today's an Ashley White day.
Yeah, today's an Ashley day. I love that.
And
that's beautiful.
the song that introduced me to all your great music is definitely Gelato.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love gelato.
you did a remix to it. Now, I like the remix. It's a nice touch.
Uh-huh.
But the original one just holds special value to me because that's how
Yeah.
I found you.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Like I was telling you earlier that most people come to me and they're like, Gelato Remix is the one. I love it. But I vouch for the first
For the
one because
original.
that's actually one of the first. No, that actually might be the first song I wrote for this album for Chameleon. So I love it. It was like it was the thing that sparked the idea of you can write an album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once I wrote that song, I was just now I'm like, come on, y'all, listen to this one, listen to this one. But it is the remix is attached to a really really great artist, and his name's Sonny. But he's so good, and so just having him kind of added value to the song and the character of the song and all that. So I understand why people are attached to it too. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Like I said, it's 100% not a bad remix because I'm gonna say it. There's sometimes where remixes come out and they are not,
They're not
good, at
good.
all.
Yeah.
So, but I mean that wasn't the case with you because you make great music.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But the reason why I do like Gelato so much is because it's fun, it's sensual, it's like sexy. And one thing that I think has a bad stigma about the word sexy or sensual, it's like people immediately think like super raunchy.
Yeah.
And
There's different
There's
there's different spectrums.
yeah, of feeling sexy or
Yeah.
sensual. And that's what it was. It's like being with your significant other or being with that person that you just love so much. It's like, yo.
Yeah. That's good that you feel that. That's great.
Yeah, it
Because
was-
that's actually something I try to be very intentional about, because like I said, I grew up doing things in the church. And so my struggle in my artistry has been to express. I'm a very sensual person. So to be able to express that in a way that isn't off-putting or just like too much. Like I want people to feel the joy of being sensual, and so that was something I was really intentional about. So it's cool to hear that that's what's happening. Yeah,
No, because there are those songs out there, like that are like super raunchy, where it's just like you put that on in public,
yeah.
you probably get a few,
Looks.
break a few necks,
Uh-huh.
and it's like
Yeah,
you listen to that on a speaker outside
Yeah.
in public, like But this one is just like it's sensual, it's sexy, but it I don't know. You presented it so well that it's like I could play it on a loudspeaker and walk around, and
that's perfect.
I'm gonna get those neck turns and those looks, but it's not gonna be because it's like raunchy. It's gonna be because it's like, yo,
This show
that's-
goes
this,
right.
this is a banger.
Yeah, sexy is a spectrum, y'all. That's what y'all gotta know. It's a big spectrum of just feeling. Sex, you can
100%.
feel sexy and have all your clothes on. You know what I mean?
Seriously, no,
Yeah.
100%. It's how comfortable you feel, I guess,
Yeah.
with certain situations. And like I said, that's why I do like that song, because it's also just fun. It's like a
Yeah.
fun song.
Grateful.
How was it? Because you said that was the first one where it's like it kind of made you feel comfortable. Where it's like, hey, I can write a whole album.
Yeah.
How did that songwriting go into, and like what were kind of the inspirations that you got from to creating this masterpiece, Chameleon?
First of all, that was a great segue. I'm so proud of you. Second, to answer your question, I actually wasn't planning on writing an album when I wrote my album. My manager, Jordan, we had just reconnected. We've known each other since we were little, but we hadn't talked in a while, and we had just reconnected, and I had released a song called The Mood. That song was just a real fun song that I liked, and I was like, I want to drop something. I've never dropped music before. I think I actually did drop music before that, but it was very like slow poetry type of music. And I wanted to drop something new, and I had just dropped Mood when we started reconnecting, and he just started to push me a little bit. He was just like, you're a lot better than you think you are, and you should maybe try to do this more. Like, you should start recording some more. And so he would just push me like, you want to go to the studio next week? You want to hang out?
Like ease you up into it.
He's never been like, you have to do this, you have to do that. He's just been like, hey, what you doing today? You know what I mean? Like he's been like that.
You want to go to the studio?
Yeah. And so we kind of got into a groove of that. And at the same time, I met someone, his name is Ken. He DM'd me. He has a brand called We Are VA. And he DM'd me with just an interest in me based on mood. And I think I released Gelato by this time. And he was like, I've worked with some big names. I know a couple people, blah, blah. I want to help you with whatever you're doing, whatever it is. And so he kind of got behind us and just put our name in rooms that we hadn't been in. And he gave us a deadline. And so then the fun became business. And so I was in the studio like twice a week, every week, just experimenting and figuring out what I like and what kind of sound I wanted to have. And then going back to my dad so he can yell at me about what sucks and what's, you know what I mean? And so the process was literally just for me to work the muscle as much as I could. I didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I'm going to do whatever I want. I did a disco song. I did random stuff. I was doing random stuff. And it just so happened that all the random songs I did turned into something really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
To you, it may
seem random,
but I feel like all the songs tie really nicely together.
I'm so grateful.
Where I said it before, it's like you have like this R&B style to you, but you grab from so many different niches mm-hmm. that it's a good mix. It's like you use R&B as just a lack of a better term. Yeah. It's not because it is R&B, but it's just like that's the closest thing.
It's
yours,
very alternative.
It's different, but it's such a good different because you naturally found this way to tie so many different niches in many genres.
Yeah, that was my fear. Yeah, my fear was that, when I listen to albums, typically they're the same, they're just the same flow all the way through. And I knew that I wasn't doing that. And I said, my dad was, I don't know what to call my dad in this part of the process, but he literally was just the one that was like, yeah, this sucks, that sucks, this is great, that is great. And I ran everything by him all the time. And he was like, I told him, I said, I'm doing so many different things. I don't think that this is going to fit together. And he was like, no, it's good that you're doing different things. People don't want to always hear the same thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they want to feel a movement of something. And my dad actually didn't like the order that I put the album in. But I was like, okay, now I don't care anymore, Dad. You're talking too much. But I just realized that things can be, I don't have to do things the way everybody else does for it to be impactful. And once I realized that, I just wrote that. And I'm always going to do that. I don't ever want to sound stagnant. Like I want there to always be like this is new. I didn't think she would do that. I always want that to happen because that's what gets me about other people. When I attach to artists that I like, I'm like, you've never done that before. What made you try that? You know what I mean? So I want to feel like I'm experimenting, and I want people to see that I'm experimenting all the time.
I get it. It's kind of like, I mean, it all ties back to you just not wanting to be in that one space mm-hmm. forever. Yeah. Just with basketball, that was kind of probably why you kind of like, not necessarily like fell completely out of love with the sport, but that's probably how it started, where it's just like, okay, like
I'm stuck.
I'm stuck. I need to grow some more.
Yeah, I gotta move.
Whether it's mentally, physically, I need to grow. Mm-hmm. And you're definitely that type of person where it's the closest comparison I can think is like when you plant and it grows. Mm-hmm. That's what you are. You're the seed that keeps on growing, that turns into a small flower to a big tree.
Come on, affirmations. There we go. Look, I have a tree tatted on me. That's actually super like.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. I swear.
That's like super. I love that you just said that. It just makes me so happy. Yeah, thank you.
And that's what like that's what I sense from you, and that's like I honestly cannot wait till what else you are gonna bring to the table. But one song that I want to talk about specifically
Let's talk about it.
is I just found it today. So like
Okay.
before we recorded anything, I went to the gym
Yeah.
and I was like, I got a daily dose of Ashley,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to your SoundCloud
Mm-hmm.
to see if there was any songs that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
There was one. Same Lovin'.
Same Love, and that's the newest, I think.
Same Lovin'.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of this. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have. Of Sade.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That gave me like that vibe.
I love it.
Because I think I heard a sax in there at some point.
Yeah, going crazy.
And I was like, yo, like it felt like as if you listen to like a modern day Sade.
Going crazy, yeah.
And that's what I mean, where it's just like, to what you said, it's nice to try these different sounds out. Because I felt like that was different from what the album was.
Definitely.
It was still a fun song. I enjoyed it. And then it's like the fact that you threw in like a sax in this beat. It's just like, it was different. And I loved every second of it.
Yeah, shout out YouTube, because that's actually a YouTube producer. I think his name's like Irie Beats or something like that. I actually don't know him, don't know anything about him, but love it. Love the beat.
The beat's crazy.
Yeah. So I just attached to, well, yeah, when I experiment, I just find things that I attach to and I go with it. And that was, I heard sounds like what he was playing, saxophone and just random samples and things like that. I'm like, this is great. I love this song. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And sometimes, I don't know if everybody experiences this, but I do, is like the song will tell itself. The story will tell itself sometimes. So instruments like the saxophone and like just horns in general, most of the time they're talking. Like those instruments are saying something. And so with this beat, that Same Lovin' beat was something that really kind of just gave me it right away. Like I just had it as soon as I heard it. But yeah, that's a song probably about something that people don't think it's about. Like what do you think it might be about?
To me, what I got from it was like, if we're doing something together and I'm applying energy into this, or maybe it's not about a specific person or a person in general, but maybe it's just like, I want to see a return in the energy that I'm giving out.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, that's what I understood.
That's
from it.
super good. I love that. That idea. I actually, and this is gonna make you want to listen to it again. This is actually what happens with most all songs for me. They all have 3, most of the time, different meanings, but centrally, Same Lovin' is a letter to God. Yeah, and so the song is just about being imperfect and wanting to know if I'll be loved the same anyway. And so that's what the song is about. So even songs like I have another song like this that people don't know, The Mood. Have you heard that song before?
I have.
In the mood to do something. That song. It's about me quitting basketball. People don't think it's about me quitting basketball. They think it's about like a love story and no. That song's about me quitting basketball. And there's even times when I'll throw in little words to tell you what it's about. And certain people will figure it out. Certain people, like people that know that I quit basketball, may figure it out. I think in The Mood I said, I wish I could remember my own lyrics. But I said something about quitting. I said it in there, man.
Yes, I threw it in there.
I threw it in there somewhere. But yeah, most songs are not about what people think they're about. So I love hearing
I could hear it like now that I'm like hearing what your explanation to that one is. Like I hear it in the chorus. Like I'm in the mood to do. Like,
I'm doing like, some things I've never done before.
But I'm having fun with it.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Exactly.
That's really good.
It makes it deeper. It makes it deeper.
And not to say that, music isn't good when there's no meaning to it, but I think that when there's substance to a song, it does make it a lot better. Because then once you figure out what that is, like I'm gonna go back and listen to the Mood, and I'm gonna go back to Same Lovin', and I'm gonna be like, this is insane. It's gonna hit different.
And that's why platforms like the one that you're creating, that's why they're so important. That's why I'm so proud. I'm just so proud of you. I just met you today. But they're important because who would know if I never said it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that are around me that have conversations with me every day know, but they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know unless there's platforms like this for real, or unless I make a platform for myself. You know what I mean? But yeah, I say all that to say I'm so proud of you and I value this. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you were able to, give me the opportunity to have you on here.
Yeah.
Bless me and the supporters out there with your presence, your energy, because your energy has been through the roof right now.
Thank you.
I was a little bit nervous because I was like, I hope I don't like fangirl and just completely stutter and forget everything I plan to say. But your energy is it rubs off where it's just like, hey, okay. I make music.
Yeah.
I make good music, but I'm still a person.
Yeah, I'm just a human being. I think well, this is something that people may not know either. I last year had a strong sense that I had to stop performing. So the year before when I released Chameleon, I performed probably a good 50 to 60 shows in that year.
Oh, wow.
Just going out and just trying to get myself out there as much as I could. This last year, I performed 3 times. And it was just because I realized that I'm a person and I'm dealing with real life things. And just because I'm not performing, same thing as basketball, it's a basketball lesson. Just because I'm not performing doesn't mean that I'm not valued or loved or that I'm just not here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I know that everything I learned from basketball with being in the spotlight and how I didn't love being in the spotlight is the same here. And I have to take that and use it. Is that just because you have this gift doesn't mean it's who you are. It's just a part of who you are. I'm a person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a regular person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if I make $1 million, y'all, still
regular person. Yeah.
Still regular
100%.
person. Yeah.
Before we, end the show, is there anything that you have in the works, whether it's maybe another album or another single?
Yeah. Okay. So
anything that you can talk about?
I can talk about everything. I can talk about everything. I'm not hiding anything. If I'm being honest with you, I'm working on 5 projects at once right now.
Oh, wow.
So just to get all my shout outs out, I'm a part of a collective called In Tune, which has artists like TRE, Jesus Shuttlesworth, Jerry Holmes. We have our manager, Jordan Spady. We have our friends and just supportive group in Taronda and Sissy, I call her, Brianna. And we have just many more people supporting us. But we're doing an album for this year. So we're working on that really slowly. And then I also plan on releasing a small project for you guys in the second quarter of the year.
Okay.
And then, like I was telling you earlier, here's my little surprise that you're getting right away. I've been working with a very, very special and very talented poet. Her name is Autumn. And she's been pushing me to get back into it and to really go back to what I was rooted in. And we're working on a poetry EP as well. So that'll be coming out this year. And then towards the end of the year, you'll hear from me again with my next album. So we're working. I'm working. This year is going to...
And we're going to have you on again.
Yeah, I'll be on 17 times. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff. And like I said, I've been quiet for a long time. But I feel like right now is the time to just let a lot of stuff go. And so this year, you're probably going to see me a lot more than you've seen me the past couple of months. But there's a lot coming.
I like it, though. Coming. Sometimes you need quiet.
Exactly. You just got to reboost your mind and how you want to present and all that stuff. Yeah, of course.
Well, Ashley, it has been a blast.
Yeah.
Having you on the show, having you on Todo Tranquilo.
Love it.
To everybody at home, thank you for always watching. I'll definitely have her music linked in the bottom with her socials.
Yes.
With any socials you have, because you have to check out her music.
I love it here.
It's fantastic.
I love it here.
So check the podcast out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then, of course, YouTube if you want to enjoy looking at me and my guest.
Yeah. I love it here.
All right, guys. We are out.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.